The sacred pause is the forgotten secret behind monks' longevity. This silent breathing principle brings the organism to the 0 point, an inner threshold where the body enters cardiac coherence and aging slows. Most people move through the years at a constant accelerated pace, with the heart working without real intervals, the breath always active, and the nervous system never fully switching off. This pattern creates continuous wear on the tissues, silently speeding up aging and making each year feel heavier than the one before. You are going to learn how to access the 0 point through a trainable breathing pattern, recognizing precise bodily signs such as a shift in the perception of time and a softening in the center of the chest. Closing this video now means missing the moment when your body learns how to pause internally, dissolving the chronic microelite that accelerates aging and blocking access to the vital economy preserved by monastic traditions. Prepare yourself to discover the sacred interval where the body finally learns to slow the internal rhythm that drains vitality. The 0 point happens when the heart, the breath, and the nervous system begin operating at the same rhythm, creating a field of coherence where the body uses less energy just to stay alive. At this threshold, the tissues shift into preservation mode instead of constant wear, and internal time slows in a way that can be felt in the chest, the jaw, and in the quality of the breath itself. Hesychist monks called this hesychia, a quietness that does not come from stopping external movement, but from organizing the internal rhythm until the heart finds its natural interval. That brief space between beats where vitality rebuilds without effort. The mechanism unfolds when the breath reaches a specific cadence that reorganizes the relationship between the sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous systems, creating balanced alternation instead of constant activation. When you breathe this way, the vagus nerve receives signals of deep safety. The body understands there is no present threat and turns off the microurt that keeps tissues in subtle tension, consuming energy even at rest. Heart rate variability increases, showing that the heart has regained flexibility, and the perception of time shifts because the brain stops processing urgency where none exists. Research from the HeartMath Institute has shown that cardiac coherence alters gene expression in real time, reducing inflammatory markers and activating genes linked to cellular regeneration. The body literally ages more slowly when the heart beats in coherence, because oxidative wear decreases and autophagy, the cellular recycling process that occurs during deep sleep, becomes more efficient. Breathing at the right rhythm is not a wellness technique. It is direct biological signaling that tells your cells they can invest energy in repair instead of mere survival. This matters now because you are likely moving through your days with the chest slightly braced, a breath that never fully drops, and a diffuse sense that time is speeding up on the inside, making each year feel shorter and heavier. This pattern is not psychological, it is physiological. And as long as the body remains out of coherence, it will continue to age in a hurry, wasting vitality on a microalert that was never necessary. Someone has lived this exact transition from chronic wear to vital economy, and their story shows how the 0 point appears in a real life, transforming not only internal sensation, but the way the body responds to time itself. Sheila was 47 years old and worked as an administrative assistant at a medical clinic, where she spent 8 hours a day organizing patient records, scheduling appointments, and answering phone calls that never seemed to stop. The routine was stable and predictable, yet her body never found rest within that stability. She woke up tired even after sleeping 7 hours, felt a subtle tightness in her chest throughout the day, and noticed that her breathing never fully dropped, staying high in the chest, as if she were constantly waiting for something urgent to happen. The central conflict was not ordinary work exhaustion. It was the feeling that her body was aging faster than it should, as if each day consumed more vitality than she could recover overnight. Her face looked more marked. Her skin was losing elasticity at an accelerated pace, and time felt physically heavy, not only in appearance, but in how her body responded. Small efforts caused more fatigue. Recovering from a simple flu took weeks, and there was a subtle stiffness in her movements that had not existed 5 years earlier. Sheila tried energy supplements, adjusted her diet by removing sugar and gluten, started walking 3 times a week, and experimented with guided meditations before sleep. None of this was useless, but none of these approaches touched the root of the problem, because her body continued to operate in constant microalert, spending energy on invisible tension she did not even know existed. Her chest remained braced, her breathing stayed high, and her nervous system never received the signal that it could truly pause. During a night shift at the clinic, while waiting for the last patient to leave, Sheila found a forgotten book in the waiting room about the breathing practices of Orthodox monks. She flipped through it out of curiosity and stopped at a chapter describing hesychia, the inner quiet cultivated through a specific breathing rhythm that reorganized the heart. The explanation was direct. Cardiac coherence was not mental relaxation. It was physiological signaling that told the body it could invest energy in regeneration instead of defense. Sheila realized she had never trained her body to pause internally. She had only tried to calm her mind while her body remained accelerated. The first time she applied the breathing rhythm of the sacred pause, lying in bed before sleep, something shifted unmistakably. Her breath began to drop naturally into the abdomen. Her chest softened without effort, and a strange sensation arose, as if time around her had slowed down. It was not drowsiness. It felt as though her body had finally found an interval it never knew existed. What Sheila felt in that moment is exactly what you are about to experience in your own body, accessing the threshold where aging stops being lived as continuous consumption. The sacred pause begins with recognizing that the body has an internal rhythm, completely different from the rhythm you have imposed on it for years. You will teach the heart to find its natural interval, reorganizing the relationship between breath and nervous system through a specific cadence that switches off microalert and creates coherence. Sit or lie down in a place where you can remain uninterrupted for a few minutes, and begin by noticing where your breathing is right now, without trying to change it yet. Place one hand over the center of your chest and the other over your abdomen, sensing whether the breath is high in the chest or if it already drops naturally. Most people will notice that the chest moves more than the abdomen, indicating that the body is operating in subtle alert mode, even at rest. Do not force the breath downward. Simply recognize where it is, because this recognition alone already begins to shift the internal pattern. Now you will introduce the rhythm of the sacred pause, inhaling gently through the nose while mentally counting to 4. Allowing the air to enter without effort, as if the chest were a space opening naturally. Do not fill the lungs completely. Just let the inhalation happen in a smooth, continuous way. At the end of the inhale, pause for 1 second, without holding the air, simply allowing a brief interval before the exhale. Exhale through the nose or the mouth, mentally counting to 6, letting the air leave slowly and completely, as if you were emptying a container filled with water that pours out without hurry. The extended exhale is what reorganizes the vagus nerve and signals to the body that it can switch off internal vigilance. At the end of the exhale, pause again for 1 second before beginning the next cycle, creating a continuous rhythm that the heart recognizes as safe. Repeat this pattern for a few cycles and begin to notice what shifts in the body. The chest may start to soften, the breath may naturally drop into the abdomen without effort, and a sense of internal space may appear where there was once compression. If the mind tries to control the rhythm, release mental control and let the body take over the cadence, because the organism knows how to pause when it receives the correct signal. Deepen the practice by bringing your attention to the cardiac space, as if there were a gentle, steady flame at the center of the chest. Keep the breathing rhythm without mental effort, simply sustaining sensory presence in that area. Your perception of time may begin to change, thoughts may lose urgency, and vision may soften, indicating that you are entering the 0 point, the threshold where the body stops consuming and enters vital economy. Continue for a few more cycles, allowing the rhythm to become increasingly natural, as if the body were remembering something ancient it has always known how to do. Before moving on to the next layer of the practice, there is something essential about Sheila you need to know, because what unfolded for her in the weeks that followed reveals exactly what is beginning to organize in your body now. Sheila practiced the sacred pause every night before sleep for 3 weeks, and the transformation was not sudden, but progressive and undeniable. In the first nights, her sleep deepened in a way she had not experienced in years, and she woke with a genuine sense of recovery, as if her body had finally found the rest it needed. The chest stopped holding a guarding tension throughout the day. Her breath began to drop naturally into the abdomen even during work, and an emotional stability emerged that did not come from mental techniques, but from the physiological reorganization created by coherent heart rhythm. Trackable changes began to appear. Her skin regained visible elasticity, facial lines softened, stiffness in her movements decreased, and she noticed that small efforts no longer caused the same level of fatigue. Recovering from a cold that would previously have taken weeks happened in 5 days, and she realized that reactivity in workplace conflicts had faded, replaced by a more sustained presence in conversations. Her body was aging more slowly because it had learned how to pause, reducing oxidative wear and allowing cellular regeneration to occur efficiently. What Sheila experienced in those first weeks is exactly what is beginning to organize in your body now, and continuing the practice will deepen this reorganization, carrying you beyond the initial interval into a state where coherence becomes sustained, not just momentary. Return to the breathing rhythm of the sacred pause. Inhale for 4 counts, brief pause, exhale for 6 counts, brief pause, and now add a layer of expanded perception. Keep your attention in the cardiac space, but allow that attention to gradually spread, encompassing the entire body as a single field of pulsing presence, where chest, abdomen, limbs, and head stop operating as separate fragments and begin functioning as one coherent unit. Continue breathing at the same rhythm and notice how cardiac coherence spreads, creating a sense of internal integration where there was once mismatch between different parts of the body. The breath that was once held in the chest now circulates freely. The chest that was once braced now rests without effort, and the perception of time continues to slow, as if you were inhabiting the present more fully, without the inner rush that made days pass too quickly. Remain in this state without counting minutes, using the stability of the breath and the absence of mental urgency as your reference. The first part of the practice taught the body how to pause. This second part teaches the body how to sustain the pause as a natural state, not as a temporary effort that disappears when attention drifts. Cardiac coherence becomes the default mode of operation, reducing the metabolic cost of being alive and allowing longevity to stop being a future promise and become a present experience. The core practice is complete, and what you feel in your body now This sense of internal space, ease in the breath, and time that has lost its weight is the sign that the 0 point has been accessed. The next step is to seal this reorganization so it remains accessible even when you return to your routine, creating a bodily anchor the body recognizes as a gateway to vital economy. The physical marker confirming that transformation is happening right now is clear. The breath drops naturally into the abdomen without mental command. The chest remains relaxed even as you move, and the internal sense of time has lost the heaviness it carried before. These signs indicate that the body has entered the 0 point and begun operating in vital economy, reducing the wear that accelerates aging. To anchor this state so it stays accessible, place your right hand over the center of your chest with gentle pressure and hold 3 full breaths in the rhythm of the sacred pause, 4 counts on the inhale. Brief pause, 6 counts on the exhale. Brief pause. This simple gesture acts as a doorway into cardiac coherence, allowing the body to immediately remember the sacred interval even in the middle of daily life. In the coming days, whenever you notice the chest bracing again or the breath rising back into the upper chest, pause where you are, apply the signaling gesture with the hand over the chest, and repeat internally, "My body knows how to pause. My heart knows the interval." This sequence tells the nervous system it can switch off, micro-alert, and return to vital economy, turning this video into a portable tool you carry within your own body. The seal is complete, and what was lived here does not end when the video finishes, because the body now holds a return path to the state where aging stops being lived as internal urgency. The seal is complete, and what was lived here does not end when the video finishes, because the body now holds a return path to the state where aging stops being experienced as internal rush. The physiological time you just slowed down shows up as a trackable experience, breath that drops, heart rhythm that finds its interval, and presence that stabilizes without mental effort. Subtle changes will begin to appear over the coming days. Sleep deepens in a way you may not have felt in years. Emotional reactivity softens in situations that once triggered immediate tension. Thoughts lose their automatic urgency, and a sense of internal space emerges where constant compression used to live. The body has learned how to pause, and this is not temporary relaxation. It is a lasting reorganization of the metabolic cost of being alive. The sacred pause is one doorway into deeper states of coherence, and there are other somatic practices and ancestral teachings that further refine vital economy and conscious longevity. The path you have just walked unfolds in progressive layers of internal refinement, where each practice reveals a different portal within the nervous system and within the energetic field that organizes vitality. Evagrius Ponticus wrote, "The stillness of the body is the sign of inner order, and inner order is the sign of a soul that dwells within itself." The cardiac coherence you accessed reflects the coherence that organizes all of creation. By teaching the body how to pause, you align with the sacred rhythm that sustains life without wear, the same rhythm that moves galaxies and keeps the heart beating without you needing to think about it. If this content resonated with you, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications to keep receiving practices that unite science and ancestral wisdom at this depth. Share this video with someone you recognize as living in constant acceleration, unaware that the body can learn how to pause. Consider becoming a channel member to support the creation of content devoted to conscious longevity and vital economy, allowing more people to access this kind of knowledge. I want to know how your body responded to this cardiac coherence practice. Leave a comment saying, "I activate the sacred pause and my organism slows internal time. These words anchor the practice in awareness and create a public witness to the transformation you experienced. There is more content available for those who wish to continue exploring ancestral practices of vital preservation. Click the video appearing on the screen. A body that has learned how to pause stops aging in constant flight and begins to exist within its own time, turning each breath into an act of silent longevity.